You guys can follow along with the live chat. Another thing there. All right. We should be live. Yep. And we are live. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are live. If you guys want, you can follow along with the live chat, seeing if anybody is leaving any comments or anything like that. Just follow along on a different tablet or a different phone or something like that. Just go to Billy Collins / East Ohio Arm Wrestling, and you'll see it. Should pop up live.
I only brought the one phone.
Yeah,
Same here.
That's all right. You got time if you want to grab another one, so you can follow along with it. It's no worries if not. Super Dangerous here. What's up? Tony Stansberry, he's here too. What's up, Tony? Faithful follower of the channel. Appreciate it, Tony. Cooper said, Roger, let your locks flow. There you go. Okay. So we're going to just let a few people join. I'm going to share the stream to Facebook and then tag everybody. And then we'll get started. Okay, Steve.
Years.
Oh, Roger, you're not on my friends list, are you? No. Okay. Michigan. Okay, it looks like that's all we're going to be doing. Done. All right.
Go back to the old school.
You drinking chocolate milk?
Yeah, I got a little. I'm like, I would say this is a gallon, but I'm so mad.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, gentlemen. Let me fix this here real quick. Okay. All right, guys, we are here. We are live. Welcome to the East Ohio Arm Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Collins. Welcome to the show today. We have with us Steve Pettis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me on again.
Yep. Mr. Roger Cunningham.
How's it going? Good. How are you?
Is it Cunningham or Cangingham?
My real last name is Cunningham, and my stage name is Cangingham.
Okay, because I see the Cunningham one. Okay. All right. Roger, welcome to the show. Manny Ferriello. How do you pronounce your last name, Manny?
Just like Smith or Jones, I don't understand the problem. It's just Ferriello.
Ferriello. Manny, welcome to the show. That is a great shirt you got there.
It is. For Farm Sports.
Let's thank our sponsors and supporters of the East Ohio Arm Wrestling Podcast here real quick. first off, let's thank the Zoom sponsor, Marshall Thompson Trucking. We thank him so much for his support. Also, SCI Roofing Services, our club sponsor now. We thank them for their continued support. Also, let's thank Grip Arm Sport and Zach Perkins. We thank him for his continued support of the podcast. Also, let's thank Bill Connor and the Morrow County Arm Wrestling League for their continued support of the podcast. And then last but not least, let's thank Kiwanis Club of East Liverpool, who we are joined forces in with East Ohio Arm Wrestling. We thank everybody for their support, and we couldn't do it without them. So thank you, everybody, for your sponsors and your supports. Welcome to the show, guys. How is everybody doing?
Excellent.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Steve, I want to start out with you. Is anybody you want to thank? Anybody that you have to let know about, anything?
I got
Supporters,
the whole
sponsors.
arm wrestling community, right? That everybody involved in that helps with the Michigan State Championships, the guys that are in the background, to the sponsors, right? Grip Sport, SOS, Kellogg Arena, Calhoun County, Visitors Bureau, just everybody involved that helps make that tournament what it is. And then obviously all the competitors that show up for that tournament. Without them, there's no point of hosting a tournament, right?
Yep. Roger, how about yourself?
What's the question?
You got anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors or supporters?
Just my old lady. She's the best. She's cool. She's my supporter, my sponsor.
Nice.
My water lady.
Nice. Manny?
Yeah, we have all catalytic converters, Cooper Danger Productions, Grip Arm Sports, and Mega Arms, all sponsoring this match with me and Dan. So thankful and grateful for them.
Awesome.
And for Steve for having us have it at Michigan Arms.
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and start out with your match, Manny. Go ahead and explain to us your match and how that come about.
Well, I'm relatively new in arm wrestling. This is my 4th year, I believe. So I'm climbing the ladder. And when I first got into arm wrestling, I remember everybody told me about Dan Blanchard, and he's kind of a living legend to a certain degree. I remember the first time I gripped up with him, like, there is no way I'm ever getting to that level. That's ridiculous. And so then I've progressed. I think I'm 13-2 in super matches, and most of them are all calling out. But I'm getting to the level of those guys, I guess. I finally beat Dan once last year, surprised him a little bit. And so this match, and we've been supposed to pull for one of my belts for OGP, the 176-pound right-hand belt. He holds the 176-pound left-hand belt, so we're going to do a left-handed and a right-handed match for the belts. And then I've recently won the Club Wars belt, and so we threw that belt into the equation too. My rank that's above him, there's money on the line. It's kind of literally an all winner-take-all scenario. So I was training for the match until I cut a tendon. And so now I'm on the sidelines while Dan's working out every day. So, but I think I'll be ready in time. I got a game plan and I'm able to do some things. I'm keeping my arm where it needs to be. I just can't train my hand. So I'm trying to focus on making sure my arm stays where it is, and then trying to work on my hand. But definitely this match is kind of like Manny beat him once, but was it a fluke? Can he do it again? I mean, literally everything's on the line. I'm looking forward to it. Privileged to pull him, and it's going to be a banger match, that's for sure.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it. Tell us about your hand injury. How'd that go about?
Well, I was installing a door for somebody, and I had a fine tool, which is kind of like a Dremel with a really thin blade that you cut like trim with. level with the floor type of a deal. And that was sitting on the deck behind me, laying like this. And I was pulling on some wires to get them out of the way to put this door in for them. And when the wires finally came free, my hand went back, went right into the corner of that thing. And I don't know how well you can see, but it's healed back up a little bit now. But cut two tendons and severed one in half. And so now, huh?
And what do we learn? We need to use gloves, the proper PPE.
Proper PPP, me all the way.
Yeah.
Proper PPP. But it's been healing well, and the only problem is the cut healed in conjunction and together with the tendon. And so now my range of motion for my pinky is severely limited right now. The doctors don't seem to be concerned. I'm slightly concerned, but I'm sure we'll figure it out and have it ready to go. So it is feeling better. It's not a ton of pain anymore unless I try and move it. But I got out of this stupid cast finally, and they put this little thing on me. So progress. So
Wow.
I'll take Roger's advice next time. Proper PPE.
Yeah, PPE for sure. Way to throw a wrench into the plan, there, Manny.
Exactly. I have a perfect plan too. So this is definitely a setback, but hey, the comeback's supposed to be better than the setback, right? So we'll see if that holds true.
Sounds like you got your work cut out for you.
Basically.
Yeah.
Roger, that's more like rated G, not PG-13.
Exactly.
Roger, my man, how is it going?
Good. Just being lazy today.
Yeah, that's okay. You got a match coming up here at Michigan State. You want to go over that?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I got a match with a guy. He's a big, muscly guy. He's tan, great hair, perfect life. And his name is Dave Shea. He's a very strong guy. And we're going to do like a best of 5. And I'm going to beat him pretty good.
Nice. So I had if anybody watching wasn't aware, I had the privilege of reffing their last match. And what was it, like 3 out of the 5 rounds ended on fouls? Is that
Something
am I correct?
Something
I
like
think
that.
it was like that.
Dave can't keep his elbow on the pad. We all know. Everybody knows.
Both of you guys wanted that so bad, and I could feel it in your guys' setup. I could feel it, the tension and the max effort you guys were putting forth. That's a lot of horsepower on the table.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and I'm just fucking around about Dave. No, he's real strong, and I'm taking him real serious. So
how's
after that match happened in Ohio, I think it was 2 days later, Dave's blowing up my inbox. Got to get me this match at Michigan State with Roger. And when I first messaged Roger was like, nope, I got a plan. I'm sticking to my plan. Everything else can wait. And then Roger came back a couple days later and said, I'll do it for this. And we were able to put it together.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Dave was chomping at the bit for that rematch bad.
Well, I know. I haven't seen he started training his left hand. Just in case, I bet you he already knows that it's not going to pan out right-handed, so he just get that left in the as a backup plan. He's got a plan B already.
Nice. Steve, you want to talk about Michigan State? Anything that you can divulge as of the moment? What's going on with that? You got any breakthroughs or any setbacks that's going on with the tournament?
No. Gorillas are on order. Everything's in place. The only thing with those is they're shipping directly to Kellogg. which always is a little leery for me, just in case something happens in transit. And I
Yeah.
don't get to Kellogg until a couple of days before. So I may make a special trip up at least the week or two before when they get there, just to check them out, make sure everything's good with them. Plates are on order for the Gorillas. Everything's on order. Everything's in place. I tried to get you to ref for me, and you turned me down. Yeah, we working on. I need a couple more refs, but I have 8 lined up right now. So if I can get 10, I'll be pretty golden.
Well, let me tell you this, Steve. Let me tell you this. If you could guarantee me to be able to only down ref prior to me pulling, then I'm okay refing.
Okay.
But you know as well as I do, refing takes it out of you. Down refing,
It
not so
does,
much.
right? Repping is for people that haven't repped and thinks it's such an easy job. The first time I ever ref like a nationals was 1999. I called Karen up and I said, I'm coming to nationals and I want to ref. I'm not pulling this year. And she says, you picked your poison. That's what you want to do. Okay. And I tell you what, that it was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana that year, and I was just whooped. It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, people that haven't done it don't necessarily know what it takes to stand up there all day, especially in a big tournament, right? In a local tournament, you can pull and ref a small local tournament, but even small local tournaments now are a couple hundred people, right? Where back in the day it used to be 50 to 100, and but now you're looking at a couple hundred people at local tournaments, so it turns everything into a long day.
Exactly. Yeah, just let me know if you still need help. As long as I don't have to head ref before I pull, then
Yeah,
I'm okay helping out refing. Just let me know.
yeah, maybe bring your shirt just in case I get in a pinch.
Yeah, there you go. Steve, I did want to ask you about your thoughts on Winter Blast, man. They had a great showing, 501 entries. That's what I saw.
That's great, right? Winter Blast is a great tournament. They have a lot of great guys in that area. They're right smack dab in the middle of everything. So for them to pull in 500, that's awesome. Right? You can't. Anybody that's pulling in 500 to a tournament is doing a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So hats off to those guys for sure.
What's the largest tournament that you have ever seen pulling as far as
from my conversations with Leonard, like Over the Top has been the largest, right? Obviously. And then from the conversation that I had with him is that other than there was one WAL tournament that was actually like 3 tournaments in one, and we just did it all in the same building. So there was 600-700 people there, something like that.
Wow.
I don't know the exact numbers for that, but it was technically 3 tournaments in one. And then from the conversations that I've had, Michigan State last year at 519 was the next largest.
Yeah, 519. That's a lot amount of entries for sure.
Yeah, and it was a long day, but we've made some adjustments this year to help alleviate that. Right, we moved the start time up, cut off weigh-ins. We're adding 2 scales. We'll still have 4 tables. We'll have 3 scorekeepers. So certain weight classes will weigh in on one scale. Certain weight classes will weigh on another scale. We'll have 2 people registering, putting people into brackets. And so we should drastically cut down that weigh-in line, right? So that was part of the problem last year is the weigh-in line. Even the weigh-ins shut off at noon. They were still 100 plus pullers standing in line waiting to register and weigh in. So hopefully this year with the 2 scales running, we can alleviate that. We did more pre-registration this year than we did last year. So hopefully that helps in that aspect too, because those people just come in, jump on the scale, show their card, get put into the system, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
Yep.
For everyone watching, we have a special guest coming in at 7 p.m. So you got about 7-8 minutes. Steve, you're going to be the one to introduce this person whenever they show up and whenever they log into the stream. Okay.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
What's that?
Fingers crossed. We're already missing one person. So
right. So as long as everybody shows up, just do your best in explaining what's going on and the special announcement that you have going on.
Yeah.
Let's check out the chat. Let's see here. Joel Hudick, he's here. Roger, always been a responsible dude. There you go. Cooper Danger said, Manny forgot to give props to our training partner, Leo. He outdoes it all.
That's my son, who's 2. He probably works out harder than both me and Cooper. But yeah, Coop comes over and helps me train, gives me some motivation, helps me get in the grind. And my son Leo comes out and pushes both of us pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's harder chasing him around, making sure he doesn't get hurt over all the equipment than it is actually working out.
Yeah, that's understandable for sure. Fix this.
Manny.
Yeah.
There was some talk about a left-handed belt from Club Wars. Do you have any update on that? Do you know anything on that?
That is happening, I believe, August. April 22nd. So that's where the left-handed 176. You're going to have a stacked class there as far as left-handed goes. I have a super match left-handed before it. I'm still going to pull, but we'll see how much that left-handed super match drains out of me. But I'll pull regardless. But you're going to have Dan Blanchard is probably a favorite to win that one. However, he's still got to go up against people like Paul Vertalka and a few other names that'll definitely be there. It'll be a good showing for that one for sure. I don't know if Hazelwood, I don't think he's coming out that weekend because that would be another really good match as well. But the talk is if he wins that left-handed belt, it'll be a 4-belt match for our super matches. So should make it interesting.
Yeah. For sure.
Before I move on, shout out Tom Jones. I ain't got to see him in a while, but we got the pull up in Bowling Green. So if you guys see him, tell him I said hello.
Just talked to him the other day.
Nice. Let's start with Steve. Steve, do you got any matches you're looking forward to at Michigan State? Ones that you're really keen on seeing?
I want to see Dave and Roger, right? That's a good matchup, right? After what happened in Ohio with all the fallouts, hopefully we can get 5 good matches in. Our tables are a little bit squishier on the elbow pad, so that may help a little bit as far as elbow fouls. So yeah, that match, and obviously Dan, anytime Dan's pulling, right, he makes it entertaining. So Manny's got his work cut out for that, but that should be good.
Do it again.
Is there any other matches besides those 2 super matches at Michigan State?
Not right now, no. Right, so
okay.
that's it, right? I had some stuff in the works that I was working on, but that didn't end up happening. And then East versus West finals are that same day out in Virginia, right? So that's probably going to take a couple of the top tier guys out of Michigan those days. So, or that, and I mean, we'll see where people go. I know a couple people that said, well, I'm not going to go to East versus West and still come to Michigan. But then there's guys that, like Pavlo. I haven't talked to him lately, but he normally takes home 5 or 6 gorillas.
He's probably getting tired of storing those things too.
Yeah, I should start buying them back from him.
A storage shed with all of them just piled up.
Yeah. So
there's another one too. There was one more that I saw that got scheduled for the same day. I'm looking through.
Louisiana just got scheduled for the same day.
Yeah.
What can you
Not
do?
Not necessarily do we think that that's going to pull, it may pull 1 or 2 guys from, in between, but I don't think that really hurt you.
Tired of arguing about it, and people stacking on people, and it's just some people don't change. It's just gonna happen. So,
and a lot of the times, in Ohio, we're running into this. I mean, everybody has and wants to put on these events. Since COVID, we had a year and a half, 2 years, we didn't have hardly anything. So everybody's really chomping at the bit to get these events out. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's just like I said, in Ohio, there's so many events. There's at least one big event every month. And I can understand how everybody would, kind of get a little irritated, but I mean, when you have that many events, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's why last year I moved. Right, there was a couple tournaments that were in June that I wanted to stay off of, so I moved to April, and then I booked with Kellogg for the next 3 years. So I said I'm going to June. Right, yeah. If I'm booking 2 years, 3 years in advance, I'm going back to June.
Yeah.
Steve, you just have to learn to get those out sooner.
Yeah.
You guys, it is 6:59. Steve, I want you to keep close eye on the guest. Should be coming in any moment now.
Yeah.
So as long as this person comes in at 7, hopefully,
fingers crossed. Let's see what happens, right? So what we're doing this year, right? So we'll start leading into it. What has come about is we have Daniel Evanson from Wisconsin, who has been known to dabble into the men's classes, right? So she was supposed to be on right now, and I don't know exactly what happened, but we've had some conversation, and she's on board, and she's going to dabble in a match with a person who is quite beastly, right? So if you can say beastly in the men's side of things, and they're going to have a best of 5 super match, and hopefully this person joins here any minute now. And I don't know, Billy, if you can see anything that I can't see, but
no, this person was not part of that group on the messenger, correct?
Correct. Let me check real quick, because I did send a separate message, and I don't want to start texting him and have him interrupt him while he may be trying to get on here, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, he can get on here.
Yep.
While you're working on that, Steve, Roger, what do you got going on besides just this match at Michigan State? Do you got anything else going on? Any other goals or that you set forth for yourself?
I have another match in July with Tim Talmadge in Cheyenne, Wyoming at Corey Miller's event.
Awesome. Let's go. Anything else besides that?
That's just it right now. I'm just training for those.
Cool. And then what weight class are you going to be pulling at in those?
I'm just gonna probably pull the matches, but I'll probably be around 225 pounds. That's about what I am right now. So,
Okay. I've heard somebody say that you were as big as 285 at one point.
Yeah, I was actually like 290. I got pretty chunky.
Solid muscle.
I could still do pull-ups and stuff. And
Cool.
yeah, I wasn't like terribly fat, but I had breasts.
I got you. I was there at 215. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
I understand. Manny, anything else that you got going on, brother?
Well, I was supposed to do
Besides trying
East
not to
versus
hurt
West.
yourself. Yeah, besides trying not to hurt yourself. I mean, geez.
Yeah, besides that, I was supposed to do East versus West. I was also doing Nationals this year. Both of those are out. So the super match with Dan, and then there's some talks of some other things potentially after that. We'll see how well everything goes. I'll probably be hosting a few tournaments here in Michigan after states is over with. So we'll have a few things coming up pretty soon. But the big one I'm focused on right now is obviously Dan Blanchard. It's a pretty big one to get ready for. I mean, I think I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think Dan has like 36 state titles, and I don't know how many national titles and 2 world
100.
titles.
He's got 100 nationals with his left hand and 200 with his right hand. So you are in deep shit.
I mean, it's no big deal, right?
It's
Just going up against the potential GOAT of Michigan.
It's just Dan, and if he had both legs, he'd probably be in my weight class. So you're lucky.
Yeah, like he's working out right now and sends me a photo. I'm like, dude, you look like a Dorito chip, for crying out loud. Knock it off.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have my work cut out for me. But I would say in me and Dan's match, Dan's one main lane is definitely more, if you rated my lanes versus his lane is more powerful than any one of my lanes. And I think the thing that I have is on Dan, it's going to come down to arm wrestling and technicality and timing because I have multiple lanes that are strong enough to beat him. So he's going to have to pick right. And I'm going to have to execute. And it's definitely going to be a chess match. It's going to be a arm versus a hand, definitely height versus low. But it's going to come down to arm wrestling technique and timing a lot. So if I can execute in the spots that I need to execute, I like my chances even with this. But it's going to be a heck of a match. Like we've gone up against each other a few times, and for the longest time, my main thing is a hook. And then everybody told me that the only way to beat Dan is in a hook. And so I always tried to hook him, and he always knew I was going to hook him. And so he's very good at taking that away. And so he always made me look like a fool most of the time. And then I damaged my inner elbow in a tournament. And I'm like, well, rather than try and go inside, I better load round number 2 and see what happens. So I caught him by surprise, and I got my win. And I think he's coming for revenge now. So we'll see if I can do it again.
Yeah, he ain't playing when he's coming this time either. So
nope. Oh, I'll be as ready as I can. I mean, I've got a small setback, but I'll be ready. And I've been planning this match with him for a really long time as far as strategy. And we'll see. We'll see if I can bring it together. I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity. I love Dan as a guy and as a puller. I've looked up to him a lot. My first tournament that I was ever at, I decided to pull the amateurs and the pros, even though Darren told me not to, but I thought I could. And Dan is the one that came over, recognized it, pulls me over to the side, gives me some Tiger Bomb, gives me some pointers and everything. So I have a lot of respect for Dan, and he's always been there. We talk periodically, but I'm still coming to beat him. So
Just curious,
I don't plan on losing my belts or my rank.
am I on this thing or no?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Dave, welcome to the show, Dave Shea.
I just got off work, man. I didn't think I could make it in time.
You just got done tripping?
Well, teacher doesn't pay well, so I got to have a couple side hustles. You know how that goes.
I know. I can only imagine. I've got my thoughts on what your side hustles might be.
Well,
For
I can't
everybody
tell
that
it publicly.
is,
Right?
for anybody that is unaware of Mr. Dave Shea, he is the person that Roger is going against at Michigan State. They had a great match at the Buckeye Brawl, February 4th in Toledo. Dave Shea, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming.
I'm glad I could make it.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on your match with Roger, man.
Well, match with Roger. I mean, first of all, I'm really excited to pull Roger. I have a highly respected guy. I mean, he's been number one in Michigan for 3 years. The only person I know probably he's done that longer than him is Robert Bishop. So pretty awesome. I'm excited to pull him. I don't like to make excuses because that first time I pulled him, I mean, I almost backed out because I did hurt my right pec. I was mentally not there, and I don't think I was weak, but I don't think mentally I was there, and I don't think physically I was as good as I could be. So I love to pull Roger with no excuses, and I'm feeling really good right now. I'm training. I'm getting my strength back to kind of where it was before I got hurt, and I'm excited to pull him. He's a 10 times better arm wrestler than me. I believe that. I mean, the guy's on the table 3 times a week, but I just hope I can come in, with that old man strength and still take the win.
There you go. Dave, let me ask you, how old are you?
I'll be 47 in July. So 1 month before I pull Roger, I'll be turning 47 years old.
Okay. You wasn't kidding. Old man strength for sure.
Yeah, almost 50. The gray hair is coming in, man.
Oh, trust me. I know all about the gray hairs, brother. I know all about the gray hairs.
I think me and Steve are the same age.
No, I got you by a couple.
Oh, do you?
There you
I
go.
knew we were close.
I'll be 50 in August.
So you got me by 3 years, man. 50 is the big number. That's the big decade.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I'm doing this for 30.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well,
So
Dave,
Dave wasn't our surprise guest.
what's that?
Dave wasn't our surprise guest, but
No,
yeah,
Dave.
He is beastly, though. You were saying the surprise guest is beastly, and when you look at Dave,
I like it.
can we get
That
him
fits
on
the
the screen?
description.
Where's
So-
the hunker?
we'll just I'm just going to throw it out there because if he joins while we're talking, that's great. If not, I apologize for anybody that feels let down, but I can only control certain things, right? So what we're going to do is we have a former UFC champion that will be in the house on June 3rd at the Kellogg Arena. I have gone out and contacted this person. So Dan Severn will be in the house pulling Danielle for a mixed gender match. And we'll see if Danielle can beat the Beast, right? We're going to call it the Beauty and the Beast match. That was Dan's idea, right? So I'm thankful for Dan for coming and supporting the event. He will be there. He'll pull Danielle, and he will also have a booth set up where he will be taking pictures and autographs, and he'll have his UFC championship belt with him and some other items. I've met Dan a couple times, so it'll be great to have him at the show and supporting Michigan arm wrestling. Right, so he actually is from Coldwater, Michigan, so he's not far from Battle Creek. So it'll be exciting to have him here. I know he was on his way back to Arizona from Michigan this week because he's dual residency between here and Arizona where it's warmer, and then he is planning on being back into Michigan in the next few weeks, and then he spends his summers in Michigan. So it's exciting for me. Some of us old guys that know him from his days in the UFC. He also spent time in WWE, so it'll be pretty cool to have him in the house supporting Michigan arm wrestling.
That's awesome. And then how do you pronounce his last name? Is it Severin or Severn?
Severin.
Severin. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that is a bombshell of an announcement there, Steve. You got former UFC heavyweight champion Dan Severin, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And that's gonna be a fun one. Danielle is no slouch. Danielle is very, very strong. And I've seen her pin more than one man on the table.
Yes. So
yeah.
Just trying to support women's arm wrestling, right? And we have a couple weight classes for women at the tournament. Women get the gorillas as well. So it'll be great to have her on stage with Dan.
Does Dan have any arm wrestling experience?
He knows a gentleman by the name of Larry Soulfield, who used to be from Michigan, or was from originally, I believe he's from New Jersey. He lived in Michigan for a long time. He ran around with Dan quite a bit at when Dan was doing some of his early wrestling stuff. I don't know if Larry ever got Dan on an arm wrestling table for sure or not, but the first thing Dan said when I talked to him the other day was, "How's Larry Soulfield doing?" So maybe Larry got him on a table a couple times. I'm not sure.
Gotcha. I would just hate to see Danielle go up against this man and this guy just goes because he's been practicing or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
280 pounds.
Yeah. He's probably close to 300 pounds. Steve?
Dan nowadays, I bet you he's 250 nowadays. He's still big.
Danielle probably is maybe 130.
Yeah. And that kind of plays into the whole Beauty and the Beast thing, right?
Yeah. That's definitely going to be an entertaining match. I'm sure that both of them will put on quite a show, for the competitors that are going to be at the tournament.
Yeah, and Dan's main thing is he wants to support. Right? He wants to be there. Right? When I told him we had kids classes and stuff, he really thought that was cool, and he has some ideas for some of the kids stuff as well.
Awesome. Oh. Well, that's cool, man. We really look forward to Michigan State Arm Wrestling Championships June 3rd in Battle Creek, Michigan. It's going to be a blast. I'm definitely going to be there myself.
Hopefully
Dave,
everybody on this phone call's there.
What's that?
I said, hopefully everybody on this phone call is there.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's got matches and the guy that runs it.
Exactly. Mr. Dave Shea, I wanted to ask you a little bit more. What else do you have in the works for your arm wrestling career this year?
Well, my goals for the year, Roger is my number one goal of the year. I had a chance to face him once, and I got to try him again. I mean, he has that number one state rank. I've never in my life had that rank, so it would mean a lot to me to have it even for one day. It'd be pretty cool. But after me and Roger's match, if I'm not too sore, there's Keystone States. I want to try that one. And then there's, I think, Tennessee State in August. There's Ohio State in September. And there's Florida State in December. And I want to hit all those state championships because I don't know what it is about state championships. I love to collect those things. I like first place state titles. I've got 7 different states so far. I'd like to finish this year with 10 or 11. That'd be amazing.
Nice. That's a hefty goal. It's a hefty
I mean,
goal.
it's just something to challenge myself. It sucks. I had second place Tennessee and a third place Ohio before, so I can't count those, but only first place counts.
You don't want to be the first
Yeah.
loser.
What's that, Roger?
I said, if you ain't first, you're last.
That's
Yeah.
honest truth, man. I don't even like, I have second place trophies. I don't even want to hang them up.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure all you gentlemen have a quite array of the arm wrestling memorabilia and awards, just stashed away in a corner probably.
I display all mine in my gym. I got a rack built above my mirror, and then all my different ones go up there, and it's pretty cool. People come down there can see, and like, all these different areas I pulled in, like from Maine to Massachusetts to, Canada, all kinds of places.
So you're
How many
saying
people do you have?
But I have 7 different state first place titles.
How many gorillas do you have?
Oh, I only have the one gorilla. I have a first place in 2015, I believe.
That was the first year.
Yep, and then I was out. I was injured for 5 years, and I just came back. July was my first tournament back of last year, so almost back 2 years now.
nice. Well, we're looking forward to that. The tournament, it's going to be the biggest tournament of the year, usually is. So we definitely are looking forward to that. Steve, do you have anything else you want to talk about as far as Michigan State?
No, I think I've hit most of it, right? Again, just thanking all the sponsors and everybody that are involved, everybody that pre-registered. I appreciate that because that helps make things a little bit smoother. And we do the unique thing of the priority weigh-in. When you pre-register, you got the priority weigh-in, so the guys that are sucking weight really bad can just go to the front of the line. So that's something. I don't know if anybody else is doing any of that with their pre-registration. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be another great year. Hopefully we fill the place, right? And then next year, I'm looking forward to getting back into the hotel that is right next door to Kellogg Arena. That makes things a little more.
There you go, Roger. Got the pet too.
Oh, yeah. Nice pussy you got there.
All right, Roger, what do you have anything else that you'd like to tell the community before we go?
No, I don't know. What do they say? Stay strong and love arm wrestling. That's what they say.
Yeah,
That's what
there you go.
I'll say that too.
Awesome. Manny, how about yourself?
No, not really. Just looking forward to the matches. Looking forward to Dave and Roger's match. I want to see that again. Looking forward to mine, and looking forward to States itself. So make your plan to be there. It's always a great event. So
Awesome. Mr. Dave Shea, you got anything else you want to tell the community at all?
Yeah, come out to Michigan State. Let's see if we get over 500 entries. What's the most you ever had, Steve?
519 was last year.
Let's go for 550 or more. That'd be amazing.
Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
Yep. So if you're on here,
Love to see that.
spread the word. And if you get a gold gorilla, you're one of the few, because I'm telling you, every year they get harder and harder to get. I mean, their things are.
Yeah.
It's like winning a national championship. It ain't really a state title anymore.
Dave, somebody said something about that a few weeks ago, right? And I went back and looked at all the top 3 placers in all the right-handed classes, and all but 7 people out of those 21, all but 7 people were connected to Michigan, with bordering states or Canada to Michigan. And then out of those 7 people, 3 or 4 of those people had direct ties back to Michigan or a bordering state. So it's not necessarily a national type level event. It's just there's a lot of bad dudes in the Midwest.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, anybody, like I said, even to take third place in Michigan is pretty freaking awesome. Like taking first is, I mean, you got to be a top 20 North America or a better polar for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Steve, and everyone else for being on the show. Steve, thanks for using the podcast to have your special announcement. Mr. Dan Severn going up against Danielle Evanson. I'm assuming it's right hand.
Yes.
Awesome. We appreciate you letting the cat out of the bag on our show. We appreciate it so much.
Sorry that all the stars didn't align correct, and
That's
you didn't
okay.
get anybody on here, but I know we need to get Dan Blanchard on at some point as well.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
I believe.
Who's that?
I do believe we're going to try to make that happen within the next couple weeks here.
Yeah.
I'll have to get a hold of him.
So I
Once
appreciate-
again, what's that?
I appreciate it, and I thank you for letting us be on here and letting us talk about Michigan State. Without everybody's support and things, it wouldn't be the tournament that it is.
Awesome. We appreciate you utilizing the channel for that. Once again, guys, I do want to thank our sponsors and supporters: Marshall Thompson Trucking, SCI Roofing Services, Grip Arm Sport, the Morrow County Arm Wrestling League, and also the Kiwanis Club of East Liverpool, Ohio. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Does anybody else have anything else before we go?
Show up June 3rd. Watch me kick that big dude's ass again.
Let's make sure that we don't foul out on these matches.
Oh man,
No.
that's the worst way to freaking lose, man.
These guys never.
First way to lose. It
It's
is.
going to be good.
You guys going 3 fouls or 2 fouls?
I wanted 3. I did. I asked Steven Roger. I wanted 3.
Oh, I said 2.
You just keep your elbow down, Dave. That's all you got to worry about.
That's it. Well, I mean, he hits so freaking hard and fast. I mean, it's kind of pulls me off the pad. It's Roger's fault. That's
You
part of
just
his
gotta get
tactics, I
stronger.
think.
Just got to get stronger.
No, that's
All
the
right,
plan.
guys. We appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everybody go out and make sure you come out to Michigan State Arm Wrestling Championships June 3rd in Battle Creek, Michigan at the Kellogg Arena. Steve, your pre-registrations, that's over, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So I did want to tell the guests about your pricing and stuff.
Yeah. So first entry is $40, and second entry is $35, and then every additional entry after that would be $35. I try to keep it as reasonable as possible. Right, there's some tournaments out there now that are costing you $50-$100 an arm. So I always tried to keep it reasonable, and I think with giving out gorillas, right, there's similar awards out there that may not necessarily be the same size, and some of those are only given to like first place. So I think $40 is a reasonable price for that entry fee, and
Yeah.
hopefully we continue with gorillas going forward.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you guys get out to Michigan State on June 3rd. Thanks for being here. You guys have a wonderful day, and God bless.